Good morning. I'm Carolyn Campbell-Golden, Vice President for Development and Alumni Engagement, and it is my sincere honor to welcome you and thank you for being here with us today for this historic occasion. Today, we honor a man whose remarkable legacy spans 9 decades, from being a student leader in the classroom, on the football field, and in the local community. His impressive career and accomplishments and commitment to community development and civil rights, today's honoree truly exemplifies what it means to be a W&J president. We are here this morning, 74 years after you, Dr. Walter Cooper, first set foot on this campus, to officially dedicate a residence hall in your honor. We are thrilled that this home for our first-year students will carry your name and legacy into the future. Again, I thank everyone for being here with us today, especially Dr. Cooper and his family. I'd like to recognize Dr. Brian Cooper and Margaret Murphy here with us today, Mr. Mark Ballou and Michelle, Dr. Harold Shields and Luda Shields, Ms. Dorothea Bivens, Mrs. Alicia Knight, Mrs. June Thomas, Karen Mitchell, and Com Homer. At this time, it's my privilege to introduce W&J President, Dr. John C. Knapp.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this very, very special occasion. As Carolyn mentioned, it was 74 years ago that a young Walter Cooper, just about this time of year, arrived on this campus. It was our good fortune that Dr. Cooper, then a recipient of a scholarship at Duquesne University, was told by Duquesne that he wouldn't be allowed to play football because he was black. And so fortunately for us, Dan Towler, Deacon Dan Towler, the great professional football player, was also a student at W&J and happened to know Dr. Cooper from high school days and called him and said, "You ought to consider W&J." And from that moment on, Duquesne's loss was our gain. He came to us as a man with a mission. He had it in mind from early days, even in high school, that he wanted to be a scientist. In fact, in his high school years, it was a librarian who gave him a book about George Washington Carver to read and said, "You might enjoy this." And Dr. Cooper said he was inspired by the idea that there could be a successful black scientist. He hadn't met any. And so he came to W&J with the idea that he was going to pursue a career in science and at the same time become a standout athlete, which he was indeed. Well, he accomplished his dream of becoming a scientist, and he accomplished a great deal more indeed. Through his many years with Eastman Kodak, he rose through the ranks of the company. He earned patents, 3 different patents for his own inventions. He contributed his scientific knowledge to the improvement of the developing world as well, and was even recognized with an award by the country of Mali for that work that he had done. And during that same period, Dr. Cooper was an active community leader, was involved in organizing the Urban League and the NAACP in Rochester, New York, was an activist in the civil rights movement in the early years in that community, worked with leaders like Martin Luther King and Ralph Abernathy and Malcolm X and others in helping to bring about positive social change in his own community. He's been an advocate of education his entire life and has been a mentor to countless young people. In fact, his advocacy of education has led the Rochester City School System to name a school in his honor, the Walter Cooper Academy. He's been a member of the Board of Regents in the state of New York as well. And at W&J, he's been a long-serving member of our Board of Trustees and is a trustee emeritus of this college, and for that we are most grateful. Well, we had the opportunity to share this good news with our alumni recently in an announcement to let them know that we were naming this important facility in honor of Dr. Cooper. And I just wanted to share a few responses that came back from some of the alums that heard the news. From Lynn Gilman, class of 1950, Dr. Cooper's class. He said, "I'm proud to say I'm a member of Dr. Walter Cooper's 1950 class. My, how he could run, and he never stopped running. Congratulations, Walt." From another fellow class member, Dr. Jerome Adams, class of 1950, he said, "I received your announcement on Dr. Walter Cooper. I was and am a fan of Walt. We were high school classmates as well as J students." Donald Lightfoot from the class of 1970 said, "Hail, hail, a well-deserved celebration of Walter Cooper's long commitment to teaching respect, tolerance, justice, finding beauty, grace, courage, developing character and culture awareness, instilling integrity, and promoting a balanced and fulfilling life." And then George Moffett, class of 1957, said, "Spectacular recognition due to a spectacular man. Congratulations, Dr. Cooper." And the list goes on of accolades from those who have been thrilled to know that our students will now have the opportunity for generations to come to know about a man who is indeed an ideal role model for W&J students. Last year, we completed a $1 million renovation of Bow Hall. Most of that investment was made in the primary areas in the first floor, the common areas, where our first-year students gather. This is the principal location where new students at the college come to know each other and make friends. And now, from this point on, it will also be the place where they come to know Walter Cooper. As you'll see when we go up to the residence hall in just a little while, the lobby, the gathering space in that building, tells the story of his life, includes a wonderful, inspiring quote, and soon will also include a portrait of Dr. Cooper, so that our students in their very first days in the college can get to know Walter Cooper and be inspired by him for many years to come. I was thrilled that when I brought this recommendation to the Board of Trustees, that they embraced the idea enthusiastically and unanimously voted to approve the renaming of Bow Hall for Dr. Walter Cooper. Yesterday, one of our RAs in that building read about Dr. Cooper's life, and he commented to my wife, Kelly, he said, "I feel so honored to live in a building bearing this name." Well, Dr. Cooper, we all feel honored. We feel honored to count you as one of our most distinguished alumni, and we feel honored that you have joined us today for this occasion to recognize all that you mean to W&J and all that you will mean to our students in the future. It's now my privilege to introduce you to Dr. Keith Gezzi, the Chair of the Board of Trustees, to make a presentation on behalf of the board. Dr. Gezzi?
Thanks, John. Walter, I must admit, it's a little strange to see you without glasses and with a mask. Although if I wear my glasses with this mask, I'll be totally fogged up and won't be able to see anybody else here. So good morning and welcome to all of you. Again, we're thrilled you can all be here today to celebrate such an important occasion. Many of you may not know, but the naming of a building on a college campus can be a process that's rather official. At the same time, it poses a wonderful opportunity to highlight something about the college's history, to showcase something that is truly special about the campus and the story behind it. Today, that story belongs to Dr. Walter Cooper. I am personally honored to be a member of Dr. Cooper's extended family, the Washington and Jefferson College alumni, and to serve with him as a trustee of this college. And I'm sure he will agree, W&J is truly something special. It is my pleasure to be the one to present a gift to Dr. Cooper, a man who exceeds W&J's mission of graduating students of uncommon integrity, competence, and maturity, who are effective lifelong learners and responsible citizens, and who are prepared to contribute substantially to the world in which they live. Dr. Cooper is someone who has contributed substantially to this world, to our nation, and to this college. And you've made all of them a better place. Congratulations, Walter. And Walter, could you join me at the podium so that I can present this gift to you, please? In an appropriately socially distanced way. Thank you. I think we get to hold this at a distance, and I think they'd like to get a photo if we can. Great, thank you. We'll give this back to you, Walter, after the ceremony. Thank you very much. Walter, the podium is yours.
President Knapp, Board of Trustees members, family, and friends of Washington and Jefferson College. It is indeed an honor to know that this college, which played such a major role in forming my philosophy of life and also provided me with an education that provided a foundation for not only a rewarding pursuit of science and technology, but also to provided me with a great interest in the humankind, the problems which our nation faces, and especially which the minority of which I'm a part has faced. When I came here in 1946, it was a welcoming community, many veterans from World War II, whom I befriended because on several occasions or others, they would gladly purchase an expensive book which I needed for a class out of their GI allotment. So the friends I made during those years lasted for a lifetime, because I take the humanity of an individual very seriously, and I maintain friendships over many years. I'm still in contact with some of my high school class graduates of Clairton High School in 1946. I tried to get a kind of a gathering of that class, but there are so few of us left. I called it the last roundup, but even the last roundup was unsuccessful. The life has been very good to me in a sense, because I think I used lots of energy and time in promoting my own future and the future of the others who around me. And that's why I take a great interest in education, because it's the leveling field for those who come from poverty, for those who are unnoticed in this great society. I have an undying commitment to trying to make life more promising and more pleasant for people who are in conditions of poverty and lacking much hope. I came from a family of 5 sisters, 1 brother, and a father who had 0 years of education, but was a model because of his his dedication to hard work and maintaining a family, and a mother who had an interesting name. Her name was Luda, which is Russian, and that was derived from a great aunt who was the first college graduate of the family, born 1885 in Georgia, and a graduate of Tuskegee Institute. I look at my own life in terms of what were the basic elements which allowed a very poor family under many odds to have 5 of the children go to college and at least 3 of them earned advanced degrees. And what reinforced my outlook on the success of the family was what I learned here at Washington and Jefferson College. I saw sensitivity, knowledge, and humanity. And those days, we had to go to chapel, and you had to have a semester in the Bible. The semester in the Bible was very interesting because you had to write a term paper. My term paper was on Reinhold Niebuhr, the great German theologian. And from reading of Niebuhr, I got the idea, reinforced idea of service. Niebuhr wrote books such as Moral Man and Immoral Society, and he believed in the social emphasis of the gospel. And I was able to acquire that knowledge here at Washington and Jefferson College. It was a welcoming attitude on this campus. I knew professors who were not involved in teaching me, but actually were extending a welcoming hand to my presence on campus. And I think that has enriched my experience here at Washington and Jefferson College. I could tell you so many different human relations stories that really tied me forever to this great institution. But I know time is of value, and I just want to say that my life was shaped, my life was enriched, and my life led to dedication of other human beings based upon my early experience at Washington Jefferson College. This is an honor that I will cherish forever, and I will pass it on to my children and hopefully my grandchildren and generations of Coopers after it. Thank you again for this wonderful honor.
At this time, I'd like to welcome to the podium 2 students, Jasmine Day, our Vice President for BSU, and E.J. Thompson, a football player for W&J, to help unveil this wonderful portrait.
Oh, thank you. Very nice. Beautiful. Thank you. I would shake hands, but we're off limits.
Well, this concludes this portion of our festivities. I'd like to begin the procession to the Residence Hall at the corner of Bow and Lincoln for the official name unveiling. There'll be some golf carts available to escort attendees as desired after Dr. Cooper and Dr. Knapp make their way up. So thank you very much for coming today.
Friends, we're going to take just a moment to unveil the new name of this facility, Cooper Hall. And to do the honors, representing the student body at Washington and Jefferson College is Haley Hess, president of our Student Government Association, who will unveil the name. Haley? Yeah, great. I want to thank everyone for being a part of this special dedication and encourage you, if you have a little bit of time, just to come and take a look in the windows. You'll get an idea of how the special gathering space has been recreated as a place to honor Dr. Cooper. Thank you for being with us today.
Congratulations.